let's just say I have the rant alert on standby.
Good.
Because we might have some words. Equifax recently surveyed 1,000 of their workers using internal tools that they normally use to sell to third parties for mining data based on income and revenue and things like that are reported to major credit agencies, Equifax being one of them, tied the revenue reports to their internal employees and contract workers and fired 24 of them for having multiple jobs.
Yeah, incredible, right? By the way,
Yeah.
this is the same company who mistakenly leaked the data of like 1 million of its compulsory users.
Yeah.
Nobody like turned of age and was like, you know what I really want? A company to monitor my credit worthiness and risk level.
Mm-hmm.
And then nobody said, you know what I really want? A company whose negligence led to the leaking of over 1 million of those files to do that. And now nobody wants that same company who is so very good at handling its clients' information and privacy to surveil whether or not we work 1 or more jobs, 2 or more jobs. Surprise, look outside. Inflation is skyrocketing. Yeah, inflation, by the way. That's what they want you to call it, but it's just price gouging. And so some of us go, gee, golly, you know what would really help me put bread on the table and feed my family? A second job. And these yahoos over here, they think that you need to work 8 hours a day to get something done, but you don't. So you use that extra time instead of just refreshing your email feed to work another job. Kudos to these people. This is bull crap.
Yep. I'm just going to keep the rant alert on because I also have something to say about this.
He's heating up.
Oh yeah, he's heating up. I'm on fire. I'm pissed off. Here's the deal. If these 24 employees who were fired, by the way, 24 out of 25 that they discovered were working multiple full-time jobs, some as many as 3, if they were fulfilling their duties, what justification do you have for terminating their employment? Now, I understand that... God dang it. I understand that employment is at will in most places. You don't have to have reasons for firing people. You don't have to have reasons for termination. If you explicitly state one and it's on the protected class list, then you get in trouble. So we love the at will. We're just going to fire you.
Right. That's the garbage.
Right. Now, if those 24 employees were fulfilling their job duties, they had no cause for termination because Equifax, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not positive.
An employment lawyer? Oh.
I'm not positive, but I'm assuming that these were not salaried employees. These were likely 40 hourly employees, which means they're paying per hour, per minute, per second of work time. Which means if I'm not on the clock, I'm free to work for someone else. It seems to me, as someone who has many times worked multiple jobs or had a job and then done contracting on the side or whatever the case may be. I mean, for the first 3.5 years of this channel, I essentially worked 2 jobs, one with my employer and the other where I stuck a camera in my face and uploaded to YouTube. And that very quickly became a job. If my employer found out that I was posting to YouTube in my own private time and not mentioning my employment and had no bearing on my employment and I wasn't doing it during work time, would they have any justification for firing me? No.
That's the problem. The justification is that, like, well, they're an at-will employment state. It's still garbage.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's bonkers to me is nobody has an issue with workers having more than one job when they got to drive their ass from one location to the next.
John Jay
Because
says unless they were working for a competitor, and that is definitely cause for firing. No moonlighting. If it's in your contract, if it's in your employment, because there's nothing that when you get hired for Walmart that says you can't go work for 7-Eleven or Safeway.
Here's the part that really gets me worked up. When you read the article, it's over on Ars Technica. We'll link it. It's linked down below. Towards the bottom, one of their spokespeople says, by the way, they gave it a really cheeky nickname, which even pisses me off even more. Equifax's investigation, which at one point was dubbed, quote, Project Home Alone. They said that the violation wasn't the only reason that 24 employees were terminated. And then he goes on to quote, Equifax followed all applicable laws in its handling of this situation, Walker told Ars. Quote, these employees were terminated because of multiple factors, including, in many cases, their own admission that they had a secondary full-time job, which prevented them from fulfilling their full-time obligations to Equifax. Now, here's where it gets me. I've worked this position before where... We've
both done like contract things and multiple like we've both lived this life.
But and also to my shame, I've been the Equifax here in this position where I'd bring somebody in for violating store policy or for breaking the law. And I would say, do you know why you're here? And blah, 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 blah. And I'd put the bad cop face on and I would say, look, I really want to help you out, but I'm going to need a voluntary written statement. You're writing it of your own free will. The keyword here is voluntary. But I'm going to need it, right? And you go ahead and in your own words, I'm not going to coach you. You tell me what you did and whether or not you're sorry for it. And without a doubt, they go, this is my chance to save my job. And they go, I stole a Coca-Cola from the thing and I'm really sorry. And then we get to go, in their own words, they said they stole it.
Yeah.
That's what Equifax is doing here. I've played this game.
Yeah.
And it's bull crap. It's garbage. It's just like, oh, they admitted it. Ugh. Yeah, probably. It's like the same way, like when you're in court and you're facing criminal charges, and the judge goes, "Are you making this plea of guilty of your own free will, free of coercion?" The truth of the matter is, almost nobody makes that plea free of coercion. The whole system coerces you to do it. And if you're working at Equifax for chump change, the whole system of Equifax is bearing down on you to admit the truth that doesn't benefit you in a single way.
Yeah, now the reason this is in our tech news is because what we started at in the beginning of this story. It's very troubling in this day and age, although we're going to see it more and more. We've seen this I've been on the hiring side, where we will interview a potential applicant and then check their Facebook and Twitter profiles to make sure that they're not some racist, bigoted a-hole that's going to, get our company in trouble. Your public profile is part of your employment application at this point. Didn't used to be that way. Didn't used to be that way at all. The background checks used to consist of, does he have an arrest record? And if so, was it a violent offense? And that was it. And
I've had tweets that I've made, and a lot of people have seen my Twitter profile, so they know what I'm talking about, read to me in job interviews. And they're acting like it's a big old gotcha. They read a tweet that I made and they're like, does that sound familiar? Who might have written that? I know my Twitter is public, bro. It wasn't an accident.
Did you think that was funny? At the time.
Yeah, I think it's funny. And I think it's about you. No.
But Equifax used their position as an employer first and as a private credit bureau who corporations pay money to analyze credit risk on individuals, companies, etc. They used that revenue stream data to target their own employees and terminate them, because there's a chance that we're not getting all of the value out of our employees that they signed up for, quote unquote.
Mm, pretty awful.
Michael
Pretty
says.
awful.
Michael says, "Was that when Jeff interviewed you?"
Jeff fully endorses my Twitter profile.
I say he doesn't go too far enough.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, wow, you're really pulling your punches there,
Right,
Rhett.
right.
I need you to be more explicit. We don't want anybody wondering what you're saying.
Next time, tag them.
Yeah, there you go. At Linus Media Group. No.
That is a sweet WAN hoodie.
Yeah, be a shame if somebody bought it
Right.
as a joke.
Yeah, totally joking. Totally
100%.
and completely joking.
Yeah, no seriousness whatsoever.